Hello, good evening. Welcome to Business Live. Coming up tonight, ban on mass gatherings due to COVID-19 severely impacting on event management and organizing. We have a report just ahead. Also coming up, we'll take a look at how the sports sector is being impacted by COVID-19 as kits manufacturer Puma reviews downwards a sponsorship package with the GFA. Plus, a global movement to support communities and individuals affected by coronavirus has been launched in Accra. We'll tell you all about it. My name is Darryl Kwao. Thanks for being with us. Details right after this break. Tonight, the ban on social gatherings due to COVID-19 is severely impacting on event management and organizing. Revenue losses due to cancellation of conferences, weddings, funerals, and workshops running to millions of Ghana cedis. Hotels and other institutions which host such events have their fair share of the pinch. Prince Apia has been exploring this issue in today's Business Journal.
Hello. So, how has the COVID-19 affected your marriage plans?
We were scheduled to get married on the 21st of March. That was the week that the president declared the social distance ban, and it affected us because we had to cancel.
Oh, okay, Jennifer. Thank you very much for the call. Jennifer is one of the many people who have had to cancel their weddings because of the COVID-19. In this story, we'll be speaking to some of the allied service providers in the event organizing industry to understand how decisions like this affect their businesses. Weddings and related events are often handled by professionals who depend on them to make a living. Event organizer Lillian Boama Teria manages Hang 2109 Enterprise. Her outfit was compelled to return advance payment for scheduled events to clients.
Our calendar was booked for almost half of the year before the pandemic hit the country. And so we've cancelled about, I would say, 10 events. And these are events that were huge. And because of the cancellation, we've had to refund part of their monies to them. And that has been a blow for us because we have employees as well that we take care of. And without a steady flow of income now, it means that the resources that we've reserved are the same ones that we are using to refund our clients as well as take care of our employees. Well, so now we've had to lay off our employees because we cannot pay them. There's no jobs at the moment.
Allied services providers like disc jockeys, MCs, public address and sound renters, decorators and photographers are all locked down. Last-minute cancellation of contracts leaves individuals like young photographer Enoke J in financial limbo.
For this past 1.5 months, people have been cancelling their, all contracts have been cancelled, some are on hold too, especially we having some projects to do, especially some advertising shows we need to do. The clients are like, they can't invest that much money because they don't know what's happening, so it is making things a little difficult for us.
Sapphire Gardens. It's an event space and recreational center in Kumasi. Before COVID-19, hardly did a weekend pass without one activity or the other here. The current debt situation is a far cry from the period preceding the outbreak of the pandemic. Yabrefo Ajimai is chief executive.
Every Saturday, there's a wedding here. And they pay like 3,000, 4,000 for the gowns. We also have other programs that we do every month, like a corporate Friday where we gather all the corporate people in Kumasi to come here, listen to live band and enjoy. All these programs are off. Some even came in to make a deposit and they've even come back for their money.
Mr. Brefo had invested over $10,000 in this facility in readiness for Easter, which virtually never was.
We were planning to use them for a program during the Easter holidays, so we just acquired them. And unfortunately, when it came, this COVID came in, and you could see that the appealing of, because it's in on the sun, and if we are not careful, we are losing the investment that we've done. Together with the trusses, it will be like $15,000. We are just wasting away, because all the events that were planned for it, because of this thing, because of the COVID, we've not been able to do it. And
apart from renting an event ground like Sapphire Gardens, some prefer hotels and their spaces. Jemfoa Owusu-Chow is the owner of Royal Lameta Hotel.
As when the president announced it on the 9th, by 11th we had cancelled 41 conferences and workshops. It spanned between March and July. So we had this wedding activities and all those things. We have to stop everything. We've lost a lot. Not less than maybe 500,000 Ghana cedis. Not less than.
How long these businesses in the event organizing chain remain crippled or how early they bounce back depends on persistence or otherwise of COVID-19 and government response. Prince Appiah.
That report was filed by Prince Appiah. Now, checks by my colleagues at Joy Sports revealed that the local sports sector may need even more than 600 million cedis to be sustained when the COVID-19 challenges go away. Currently, when it comes to football alone, Joy Sports is reporting that the financial package agreed between Global Football Association and Puma, kit sponsor of the country's teams, has been reviewed downwards. The agreement, we understand, has been cut by 30%. There's more in this report.
Persons with knowledge on the development say the decision by the German kit manufacturer to review the agreement was necessitated by the negativity that surrounded Ghana following the premiere of the No. 12 investigative documentary on corruption and match fixing in June 2018. The deal agreed between the Ghana FA and Puma. There were three benefits of the contract: to supply or provide kits up to 500,000 euros per year and a financial contribution of 800,000 euros per year under the last contract. There were other benefits at major competitions like Africa Cup of Nations. At every stage, there was a benefit of about 100,000 to 200,000 euros or more, depending on the stage the team reached. If Puma spent 500,000 euros to produce kits when sold, Ghana FA earned about 8% of the sales. This agreement expired in August 2018 because Puma contracts were scheduled to expire in August of World Cup years. It will be recalled that the Normalization Committee renewed the contract, but Puma was not convinced to keep to the same terms. The GFA delegation, headed by President Ket Okreku, met the kit sponsors in January and made proposals for assistance on youth and infrastructure development.
Well, so is this a sign of more setbacks in the sports sector amid the coronavirus pandemic? That is the question I asked Gary L. Smith, Joy Sports editor.
Daryl, I think it's pretty prudent to note the factors which have led to the downward review of the contract from Puma. Two key reasons. The ANAS investigation, according to what we know, cast a negative shadow on Ghanaian football teams, which has translated into the low sales of our kits overall. And then secondly, the decreasing popularity of the Ghana national teams, because in the last 2-3 years, we have not been doing as well as we used to in the 4 previous years that we had a deal with Puma.
Okay, and so what's the potential impact of this downward review on the game football?
If you've been listening to the Joy Sports bulletins in the last week, we have been discussing what the Ghana Football Association should be using their FIFA allocation that has come for the year for. Now, in the last 10 days, FIFA has said that they are releasing $500,000 as a COVID relief package to all 211 football associations who are members of the organization. So the GFA is due to get $500,000, and there has been a huge debate already as to where that money should go, whether it should go to the clubs, whether the GFA should use it to service their own debts and stuff like that. So as we speak, the GFA are cash-strapped. Also, don't forget that the GFA have been asking the government of Ghana to also consider them when giving their stimulus packages. You know, the government gave 600 million in the stimulus package that I've heard you guys speaking about on JoyNews to small and medium enterprises, and then that other 1 billion that was given in the promise from the president's speech. They are asking the government to also give them that amount. So as we speak, the GFA is seriously looking for money, and any amounts that was coming from sponsors would have been really, really helpful. Now that this money is going down, it means that the GFA need to be inventive and creative to get money from elsewhere. It's not good news.
And it's good you brought up the subject of the stimulus package, because I've been monitoring the reporting of Joy Sports, and indications that the sports industry may need even more than 600 million cedis.
Of course, the operation cost, Daryl, for the Ghana Football Association per month is in the region of, I hear, $100,000 a month. Okay, wow. That's just operational cost. Now, if you consider what's 600 million cedis in dollars these days, you can do the math.
Yeah, work out the math.
So it's not enough.
Oh, you wanted me to do that now? Okay, fine. So we are talking about football, right? But it's not just football.
Yes.
There are other, sports that are affected by COVID-19. And then we talk about the businesses in the industry that contribute to making what we see on TV, here on radio, exciting.
Yeah, I mean, if football alone thinks that 600 million from the government may even be small, then you can imagine all the other sporting disciplines, because you know that, for example, we have a very vibrant basketball regime at the high school level, which is helping a lot of kids, who don't like football to be able to practice and get themselves active. The Ghana Education Service has a very rigorous physical education program that they need a lot of money to implement, especially in the public school system. You come to some of the other sports, especially like athletics and boxing, which apart from football, you could argue are the two biggest exponents for Ghana at international level. Boxing needs a lot of money to train amateur footballers, amateur boxers, for example, to get us more world champions, and they don't have money to do that. Athletics needs a lot of money to unearth talent in the villages, in the towns, and in the hamlets, and they don't have money to do that. With COVID, you can imagine that corporate Ghana will not put money there. So it's a dire time for the sporting industry as well, and we've been covering it on Joy Sports, and the look, Daryl, is not good.
And you have about the difficulties that corporate Ghana has at the moment in supporting stuff like sports. Well, a global movement to support communities and individuals affected by coronavirus has been launched in Accra, known as Giving Tuesday Challenge. The movement is calling for government and corporate bodies to mobilize some support for needy communities in these critical times.
Giving Tuesday Ghana is responding to the needs of the affected individuals, families, and communities in this time of the pandemic. We are calling on foundations, philanthropies, and NGOs to join this global movement to celebrate the Giving Challenge, where you can support any person in need who is in your community or in your organization. This day is taking place on 5th of May 2020, which is going to be in addition to the December 1st, 2020, which is the general day that Giving Tuesday is also going to be observed in Ghana. Responding to the need of an individual or a neighbor, or giving a gift or any item in kind. You can also, in your own way, support a community through giving any item that can also support them because of the impact of the pandemic. We are calling on all philanthropies organizations to join this movement and just be part of the challenge. Just take an item, take something that you want to give to any society or to an individual or someone you know, and then take a picture of that and post on Giving Tuesday Ghana Facebook, and then we follow up on you. And we believe that from this time to the end of the pandemic, we can all respond to solving the challenge that the pandemic has impacted on the needs of individuals in Ghana.
Great initiative. Well, downstream petroleum marketing firm Petrosol has donated personal protective equipment to frontline health workers of major hospitals handling cases of COVID-19. The gesture, according to the company, is part of its corporate social responsibility to support the country in these trying times.
According to marketing manager of Petrosol, Kwesi Siga, though the company has suffered some slow sales as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, they will continue to support government in any little way to fight the global pandemic. Mrs. Siga is sure that the situation will not affect the company's productivity since sales are picking up again.
The demand for our products is driven by transportation and energy. So once people are not moving out, people are not going to work, so it affects the demand for fuel and lubricant. So our business was really hit hard, in the month of April. But beginning of May, we are seeing some improvement with the movement restriction, the lockdown and being taken off. We've seen some, life coming, and we've seen traffic coming to our station going up. But it hasn't reached a level where it was before the lockdown.
Mr. Siga believes that the donation will go a long way to support the government's efforts in containing the impacts of the virus.
COVID-19, we noticed that our doctors are under so much pressure. They are attending to several cases, so medical supplies and PPEs are running out. So Petrosol put together these PPEs and medical supplies to support our medics, to tell them that, look, we are fighting this together, we are in this together. So this is what we are doing. Apart from these items that you are seeing, we have also made available 5 delivery pickups, okay, with fuel and drivers. And so these pickups are delivering these items to the various hospitals that we have identified in various communities across the country.
Petrosol is among the oil marketing companies in Ghana that have committed resources to other vulnerable communities in the wake of COVID-19.
Welcome back to Business Live. My name is Daryl Kwao. Managing Director of B5 Plus, Mukesh Takwani, has rejected claims that steel manufacturers are increasing prices of products. Wholesalers and retailers have accused the 7 steel manufacturing companies operating in the country of indiscriminate review despite some interventions from government to reduce water and electricity tariffs. There's more in this report.
Speaking to Joy Business, Mukesh Takwani argued that there is currently low demand for steel in Ghana due to the impacts of the coronavirus. He says this does not give way for the increment of steel prices.
We have not got our bill yet. So without the bill, how can we say that we have got 50%, brother? And it is also fact that the prices have not increased. So this is also the fact. So, and this is also the thing that there was a say that we have reduced the production. How can you reduce the production when you are even in the lockdown? It would have been very easy for us to just close the factory, but rather we kept thousands of employees employed, okay, and not only paid their salaries, but paid them 1.5 times the salary.
This latest development comes on the back of the president's announcement of some 50% reduction in electricity costs for all businesses and individuals amidst COVID-19. Meanwhile, Mukesh Takwani believes more must be done to support steel factories at this time.
You have to buy the water every day. The water is not flowing, my brother. It is not easy, I can tell you. And then you have machines. You are not able to run the machines also because there's no enough electricity supply. So, and then you have to get all the PPEs and everything. So just imagine, you saw when you were coming in how many places we have put sanitizers and water dispensers with the soaps and everything to make sure that everyone remains the hygiene.
Wholesalers in the steel business are calling on the President, the Minister for Trade, to look into the matter, describing the development as cheating, especially in these troubling times of COVID-19.
Now, there should be a boost in organic farming in the country this year. This follows an MOU signed between the Chamber of Agribusiness Ghana and the African Council for Organic Agriculture. Speaking after a short ceremony to begin the agreement plans, Chief Executive Officer of the Chamber of Agribusiness, Anthony Morrison, expressed confidence that farming in Ghana will not remain the same. There is more in this report.
The agreement came about due to the sterling performance of the African Council for Organic and Sustainable Agriculture in other countries promoting good practices in farming. The partnership between the two firms will be centered on training, accreditation and certification for organic and sustainable food production. Anthony Morrison is the Chief Executive of the Chamber of Agribusiness Ghana.
The objective is for us to deepen organic farming in Ghana. Not only in Ghana, but also the South region, and be able to use ACOSA as a knowledge partner. We have followed ACOSA for a number of years now, and we have seen how they have transformed in India, the parts they are, and how they have created an enviable market for the organic industry in India. In Ghana, we are looking at driving in investment into the agriculture organic sector. In addition to that, we want to see how we can increase the skills that are required for us to be more productive and efficient in our organic farming engagement. But primarily, it's also very important that we look at bringing in international certification into the industry.
On her part, Managing Director and founder of the Africa Council for Organic and Sustainable Agriculture, Salai Manikam, said they will bring on board the experiences on Indian technology to help boost farming in Ghana.
We have learned a lot from India, and we have been discussing with Chamber of Agribusiness as our partner to take it to the farmers. We would be a knowledge partner where we will bring in our experience and knowledge back from India, and it would be customized or designed to the requirement in Ghana by the CAG, and that's how we have joined together.
The deal will also help both associations to acquire supply chain markets in various locations across the country.
And that's it for Business Live tonight. Thanks for watching. There's more news on our website, myjoyonline.com/business. My name is Darryl Kwao. Enjoy your weekend.